Hello, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Your Morning Drive. I am your host, Logan Lewis, coming to you from the Fireworks studio in Marietta, Georgia. Big shout out to Fireworks for hosting us this evening. They offer a creative co-working space dedicated to uplifting and supporting their local community. You can try them out by booking them online using code DRIVE, and they will give you a free day pass to try the place out. Or if you want to come in and tour the space in person before you try it out, tell them that Logan from the podcast sent you, and they will hook you up with that day pass. Again, Fireworks Co-working, Marietta, Georgia. Drive for that day pass. Before we dive in, I want to ask you of a couple things. Please hit follow or subscribe wherever you're listening to this. If you're new, welcome. I'm happy to have you. Make sure you hit follow or subscribe or like or whatever you got to do on Spotify or Apple or YouTube, any of the places where you would listen or watch a podcast. Go ahead and hit follow on those platforms. Of course, reviews help us grow, so leave one if you could do so. For updates and behind the scenes fun, follow along on social media, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, TikTok, all of the places for fun clips and behind the scenes stuff and everything in between. If you want merch, we recently announced merch. We've got t-shirts, hats, and golf towels now for my golfers out there. So if you want some custom merch that supports me and the podcast, go to the hammerheadcreations.com/shop and get you one. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Let's go ahead and get after it. My guest today is a visionary entrepreneur and a marketing strategist whose journey began in radio and evolved into building multiple businesses from the ground up. Since co-founding her first company in 2015, she's helped launch and grow 4 more ventures, including her current brand, the Teal Bridge, which supports thought leaders and small businesses. She's also a founding member and ambassador for the Few Atlanta chapter and hosts the podcast If I Ever Live to Be, where she shares raw, inspiring stories about navigating life with purpose and honesty. Please welcome my new friend, Whitney Teal. Woo!
Thanks, Logan. You should do this on a regular basis, have this podcast thing.
You think so?
Yeah.
Wow. Thank you for that validation. I needed that.
You're welcome. You're taking sponsors?
Yeah.
Okay, there you go.
Well,
right out the gate.
Right out the gate. We talked about fireworks right out the gate. Talk about sponsors right there. Love them.
Good to be here.
Yeah, thanks for coming.
Absolutely.
I'm excited to have you.
Same here.
Feels like we've been trying to hook this up for a minute now. We were introduced by a mutual friend, the great Big Rich Brock. So Big Rich, I know you're listening to this. Shout out to you.
He's going to be so hurt that there was not like more than one descriptor.
Big Rich Brock, the comedian.
The amazing, ever funny. Yes. Okay, we're covered now.
Stage presence, natural.
This is true. This is true.
Which, I mean, being a preacher for 30 years will do that to you.
Yeah.
But I've always been impressed the few times that I've seen him.
Yeah.
How comfortable he is doing comedy, considering it's such a new thing. And usually, no offense, Rich, but people in your generation usually don't take change very well. So the fact that you changed and pivoted completely and are super comfortable doing it, kudos to you, man.
He's got quite the story.
Yeah.
He's got quite the story.
He's a great friend now.
Yeah.
Thanks to whoever hooked me up with him. Someone did. Oh, I messaged him on Facebook directly, I think. I don't think anyone connected me with him.
Like to have him on, or you went to a show?
I messaged him online because I was like, this guy's a local comedian. That'd be fun.
Oh, cool. So he came on the show first and you went to a show?
And then we were friends.
How about it?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, well, funny enough, and most comedians do this, but they'll sprinkle in bits from their set
for sure
through the conversation. And so he would hint at the son of a bitch line. And I was like, that's an interesting, whatever saying. And then when I saw him live for the first time, I was like, oh, so that's where that comes from. So if anything, seeing him live the first time for me was really exhilarating because I was like, oh my God, these are some of the little pieces that he connected with me when we recorded. And I loved it. So shouts to Rich.
And now everyone has to go see a show because they have to know the context of that.
Well, maybe they'll be able to see him live at some point soon in a different kind of format.
Yeah.
We'll more on that another time.
TBD.
TBD. But Whitney, thank you for being here. So
Oh, yeah.
I appreciate your time on this lovely Friday evening. You're hanging out with me at Fireworks, and we're recording and we're brainstorming and we're having fun.
Yeah, absolutely. Thankful for the invitation. And you came on my podcast.
Yes.
So I appreciated that, and more to come.
Yeah. So, guys, if you, first of all, right away, I don't want you to click away from this episode, but go ahead and bookmark If I Ever Live to Be so that you can go and listen to the roles being reversed, Whitney talking to me. And we had a good time. We had some good conversation points on there.
Yep.
Your show is much more serious than mine. I feel like you ask really, really good questions, and I'll be like, so where are you from? So, Whitney, tell me where you're from. Give me your origin story.
And I'm over here asking, what would you like to do with your life?
And I said, where were you born? Do you have a brother or a sister? Stuff like that. Give me your upbringing. Where are you from? Parents, siblings? What's the relationships? All those things.
Yeah. I hope it's as interesting as I find it. I've always lived in Georgia.
Okay.
And I've just kind of moved my way further south. So I started up in North Georgia, worked my way down. I am the only child. I love to joke that my parents stopped at perfection, and that was the end of that. So yeah, I got into college and I didn't know, because what's interesting is you and I have like similar paths for what we want to do, and in the media space and podcasting space. And I did not know that that's what I wanted to do when I started college. But afterward, I started dabbling in radio, and that was my first gig. And then I guess, as they say, the rest is history. Here I am.
And then where'd you go to college?
So at the time, it was called Gainesville State. It is now a part of North Georgia College.
Okay.
North Georgia College is the main campus is in Dahlonega, Georgia, and that's where I went to high school. So I didn't want to go to what we considered the 13th grade.
I see.
So I did not go there, but technically now I did go there, I suppose.
Interesting. The way that it worked out.
Yeah. And then I transferred to Brenau University, which is just right down the road. At the time, they were really the closest that had the most robust media program. We had a radio station in the communications building, and I knew I wanted to be a part of that. And there was a radio station that was right around the corner. So they had all those resources that I knew I wanted to play and learn with.
You say that you knew you wanted to, but yet at the same time, when you first got to college, you didn't necessarily get there with the intentions of wanting to do that stuff. So what did you go to college for initially, of like, this is what I'm going to do? And then how did you get to be interested in this whole media radio world?
Sure. So I started out a business major.
Okay.
And you're required to do a communications course where you have to like do your presentation and stand up in front of the room and give this speech. And I did mine on the true story, like all the facts of Remember the Titans.
Okay.
I love that movie. It's so good. I love football too. And my professor was like, you did so well at this. I'd really like for you to enter this competition that we do every year. And sure enough, it was, you had to be nominated. And then you went and gave that same presentation in front of a much larger room. And I 100% bombed it. But I had so much fun doing it. I went and changed my major.
Wow.
Yeah.
It just took one incident for you to be like, I'm out.
Yeah. And
or not necessarily that you're out, but I'm in on this.
Yeah. The communications piece of it. I mean, it was just so much fun. And again, the resources, we had like communication clubs and all those things. I never did debate, but I just loved the being in front of the crowd, grabbing people's attention, making people laugh or making people think, whatever the outcome of the subject was. And then from there is how I got into radio. So.
Very fun. So did you said that you guys had a radio station or something at the college. How did you get in there? Were you just like, hey, I kind of want to like help out in whatever capacity you guys will let me? Or did you like have a thing in mind that did you want to be behind the mic? Like, did you like, what was?
Yeah. So yes, a little bit of both. If I remember correctly, so the college, and I don't remember all the courses because I knew that there was a radio track, PR, newspaper, and I feel like there was something else that I don't remember. There was 4 different choices. And your first year, you did have to like take a class in each of those so that you could decide, okay, this is where I want to pare down to. So we had radio hours that we would have to go in and program. So I loved being able to do that. somewhere along the lines, I got to produce one of the live shows. So we would have people from the community come into the college, record shows. I got to be a producer on that, which I loved because the hosts would get me involved. And I loved that. Like, I loved the back and forth banner of that. And then from there, I did end up having a show, a late night talk show with two other women. We actually had a screener that would sit outside in the hallway and screen the calls. You could send us Facebook messages live. And we were, why am I revealing this on this podcast? We had the show was called The Hen House.
The Hen House.
Because it was all us.
Because it was a bunch of chicks.
And we would give, I'm fairly certain we were like relationship advice, parent, like of college students, like whatever you wanted to call in and ask, we were in there giving life advice.
But that's fun.
It was fun. It was a lot of fun.
And you, again, like, I love that live. That's something I've wanted to do with your morning drive in some capacity. Some point down the line is like answering listener questions or doing it live or, I mean, whatever. But it made me, it's always been something that I've been interested in doing. So the fact that you guys were doing that, and it's silly and a hen house, haha. But like, that's really fun though.
It was.
And how long did you guys do that?
Oh, I think a couple of years.
Oh, wow.
I think a couple of
Was
years.
it like a weekly kind of thing? Or like maybe bi-weekly or monthly?
I feel like we did it once a week, like Wednesday nights or something like that. Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah, it was fun.
So you've always, well, I don't want to say always, because obviously you had your life before college, but like, you've really kind of been on this radio path for a while, or this communications path, marketing. Was marketing ever a piece of that? Or like,
it is. It's so funny. I'm just not really crazy about that particular word. I feel like, and do tell if you feel the same way, I like to lead with more of what I do. Because I feel like if you go to a networking event, you're like, hi, I'm in marketing. That's like saying, hi, I'm a real estate agent.
Right.
Everybody's got one, right? So I much more. And what's interesting is even with the advancement of technology, that's really what it's supposed to be. Marketing is supposed to be communications. Like, you are supposed to be communicating with the person on the other side. So I much prefer that word, but perhaps.
I agree with you. I mean, like you said, I have always compared it to like, oh yeah, I do insurance. You know, like, what does that mean? Like, what part, like, there's immediately, if someone says, oh, I do insurance, there's at least 3 follow-up questions. It shouldn't be that many follow-up questions.
You kind of almost feel like you're instantly about to be sold something.
Exactly.
And you don't want to be sold. And so then you have to try to get yourself out of it. And I'm like, I don't want people to instantly like clench their fists when they hear me say what I do.
This is kind of in the same world, but this is just like where I'm at in life right now. I have become obsessed, Whitney, this week with watching videos online, whether it's Reels or YouTube videos or TikToks or whatever, of people like door-to-door salesmen going to people's doors that have no soliciting signs. And they ignore the sign and they just try to make the sales pitch anyway. And it's just them getting cursed out. And it's really funny.
I mean, the interesting part of that is if you really wanted to hone that skill, that sounds like a really good way to do it. Because like, that's why I wouldn't be able to do that.
No, I couldn't.
Constantly hearing no, plus word.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
Yeah,
I wouldn't be able to do that.
And I kind of resonate with what you said, and like, no one likes being sold to. I've learned that some people do like being sold to. I am not one of those people. If I walk into Best Buy with the intention on buying that computer mouse, I don't need some nerd. Sorry, that's mean. I'm a nerd. Some employee.
We're all nerds here.
Some Best Buy employee coming up to me like, have you thought about? Yes, I have. I've considered all of my options.
I know exactly why I'm here.
I know exactly what I want.
Yeah.
Nothing you say can get me to buy that mouse right there. I'm buying this mouse.
Right.
I don't care if that one's better. I'm buying this one. I did the research.
Which is good, because the other thing too is you can get in there and totally just like spend more money.
Oh, for sure.
Need to spend.
And that's the main concern is I don't want to spend more money. Like, I've done the research. I've prepared myself for the amount that I'm going to spend. So like a cent more is like, oh no, No,
Right. Yeah, I get that.
we're not doing that. So yeah, don't sell to me.
And there's so many options.
Yeah.
And if you're unprepared, you don't know what questions to ask. That was worth the price of admission right there.
That was
Mhm.
full circle there. Wow. You've done this for a while. So, okay, so in my intro for you, we talked about the fact that you evolved kind of from these early radio days to building up a few businesses. You've had a couple of organizations you've helped start. Maybe those organizations don't exist. I don't know. I've saved, this has been the tough part about like kind of working with you, Whitney, is I wanted to save a lot of these questions for like today instead of asking you like, so how did the Teal Bridge start? Like, because now we're going to be doing some stuff together. I don't want to ask those questions before the podcast because I want to
Yeah.
find out and interact with you here personally. Like, what are those businesses? Or kind of take me through the journey. Like, what was first, second, third, and
Yeah.
take me through all that.
Yeah. They've pretty much all been, most 3 out of the 4 have been an iteration of the same business, just developed. So I will not use names to protect the guilty. No, my biggest recommendation, I mean, if you really truly want to go out and start a business, it's just so important. You just have to have the right documents in place. If you have any inclination that this is going to be successful and something that you want to invest in, start doing the right thing at the front. I mean, get the LLC, get all the paperwork, have an operating agreement, and all those beautiful things. Have those discussions of how big do you want to grow it? How small do you want to keep it? Do you want employees? Do you want to go contractors? There's a million questions to ask just when you're doing a business by yourself. And so when you bring a partner in, it truly is like a marriage. If you pick the wrong person,
Yeah, it could get ugly.
100%. It can make all the difference. And just as quickly as it can get ugly, it can be amazing. I mean, and I think you and I chatted about this before about it's late nights. Sometimes you're not going to be able to do what you thought you were going to be able to. Sometimes it's holidays. Yes, there's some flexibility there being your own boss, but you have to take the good with the bad on that. And whoever's on the other side of that has to understand that too. So there's been different iterations. I've learned a lot. And what I have now is it is my favorite of all.
Yeah.
And I think that's probably what I knew it was going to be that. And so I was very careful when I selected the name. And I was like, I kind of almost want it to be like legacy brand. So obviously with the last name being Teal, which is a cool last name anyway, because it's a color. So there's a lot you can play off there. But I added that with bridge because it's connecting from getting clients from point A to point B. It's connecting them together. It's connecting a client with their customer. And it just felt like all those things went together. It was kind of like the culmination of all the years that is and was Whitney, along with all those lessons that I learned from different businesses and just going through life.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm a completely different person from that first business to what I am now. And the outlier business of all of those was still in the events space. So like another really interesting piece to building a business is once you have a base, what are like other add-on services you can add? So maybe it's in a different vertical, but it still kind of meshes with something that you're already doing. So a lot of clients, you hear people put on these big events and then they don't do anything with it. It's like, and I'm not talking about, well, they didn't get pictures or video. No, they'll do all that. They'll spend the money to do all that. And then they don't do anything with those resources.
Like what?
Like they'll have archives of pictures and they never post them or talk about them again.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I feel that.
And if it's, for example, a repeat event, like if you have an annual conference, show me that all the time. I don't know that you just had a conference 6 months ago and you're about to have one in 6 months.
Yeah.
Tell me why the heck I need to go. Why do you want my $300 to buy a ticket to go to this thing? I need to see it. And there are so many people who capture so much content and they either don't do anything with it or they do. It is shared poorly. Look at our event. No, tell me what somebody said. Tell me what you learned out of it. It's not just a picture on a screen. So that's what that particular business did, is it kind of meshed those two together.
You just kind of lit a little bit of a fire under my butt because I threw an event this year and posted pictures the weekend or the week after and not really again. And I should use it more because I had a discussion with kind of like another mentor of mine a couple weeks back about how repurposing
Yeah.
content is
Yes.
so huge and it can provide value to like what you've said. It informs people of who you are and what you're doing, but then also like it's just spreading the word about your business or your event or whatever in more ways than one.
Absolutely.
It's something that I slacked on the first time around, but since I'm planning the second iteration of this party to take place in the springtime, I'm going to do a lot of things differently to make sure that I can take advantage of all of the things. Because I had a videographer and I had a photographer.
Yeah.
But I didn't do anything with them. I posted them the next day and said I was thankful for the event and thankful for everyone that came, but that's it. Maybe tomorrow I have to post something. It says like, hey, just reminiscing on how freaking fun this was.
So did you like have a nugget that someone shared with you or like a memorable, memorable conversation? Like something, like something that stood out to you?
To be quite honest.
Was there so much going on?
No, but that is for a different purpose. So I haven't talked to you about this event in full. I've kind of told you about it here and there, but
because you're talking about when you had brought your guests
when I brought all my guests together.
Yeah.
I did that not to like pat myself on the back, but I did that for them. I was like, oh my God, Whitney needs to meet this person. This person needs to meet Jeff. This Jeff needs to meet.
That's what you can talk about in that post.
True. But I really didn't go into it with any expectation except to have a good time.
Yeah.
And I did. I got quite lit, actually. Had several of my next friend that I want to talk about in regards to the podcast, and that's Good Days Canned Cocktails. How about that transition? Woo! Guys, our show today is brought to us by Good Days Canned Cocktails. Good Days are a classic cocktail brand created in a convenient, ready-to-drink format to meet the need for a quality pre-mixed cocktail on any occasion. You can try out their cocktails if you go to their website, go to their locations tab, and find out where they're sold near you in the state of Georgia. Other states coming soon. They're a local Marietta company. They're good people. We've worked with them for a long time. They've been at every event that I've thrown. They've been partners of the podcast to the fullest extent of the word, and we're thankful for them. So go try them out. Good Days has supplied the alcohol for my fridge for about the last 2 years now, and we love it because their drinks are actually good. They're real good cocktails. This flavor that I'm holding up, this empty can, is the gin and lime flavor. However, there's a whiskey sour, a vodka cranberry, and a vodka lime as well. So there's something for everybody. So check them out. Go to their website. Of course, you must be 21 years of age to purchase and consume. But yeah, I got quite lit. I had several of these.
That was the best setup.
It was, and I didn't plan it until I realized where I was going. I was like, oh yeah.
But that's where you could totally post that. Like, I didn't overly plan it. And I think, you're actually dropping knowledge bombs yourself because I think that's something to consider. I think we overthink stuff sometimes.
Oh, I think I overthink things every time.
Yeah.
I overthink everything.
Yeah. 100%.
Everything.
I'm preaching to myself.
Yeah. Well, so am I.
My whole family that's listening to this is like, no. She doesn't just do it.
Yeah. You're a thinker. You're a ponderer.
100%.
Are you one of those that gets ready to get ready?
Probably. That sounds accurate.
Really? I need to get ready to get ready.
Are you secretly judging me?
No.
Okay.
But I am the opposite of that for sure. I am like, what are you pondering around for? Let's do the damn thing. Like,
yeah.
That's why
that's funny, actually.
And this kind of goes back to the door-to-door thing. I know I could never do sales full time because I'm impatient. And I don't love, I'm talking to my wife about it. We'll see. I'm like, no, just find out. Just ask her. Yes or no, No?
That's funny. That's funny, yeah.
I don't love the back and forth. Like, oh, well, let me look at it. Let me think about it. Okay, how long are you going to think about it for?
Yeah.
You're going to get, at least communicate your intentions with me so I'm not, waiting by the phone to see if you're going to say yes or not,
That's them actually saying no.
Yeah. But then sometimes they come through and they say yes, and I'm like, God,
I mean,
fuck y'all
every
want
now
out."
and then it can happen, yeah, but
But that's the out of all business opportunities, I just hate the sales process. I wish I could just be like, "Hi,
for
I'm Logan,"
sure.
and someone's just like, "Here's my wallet. I'd love to work with you."
Oh, for sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I just
No,
hate
referrals are the best.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
So thankful
Yeah.
for
Oh,
referrals.
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
it's
'Cause then
it's the best. You're a referral. I mean, in the fact that you're here.
it's
Told
true.
me
Yeah, that is true.
at Big Door, he was like,
Yeah.
"You gotta get Whitney on your
Yeah, that's
podcast."
right.
So, here we are because of that.
That's true. And then
Mhm.
and then we ran into each other again.
At
What
another
was it?
Big Rich.
Cartersville? We did. I know.
Big Rich brings people together.
His new tagline, unlock.
Hey, come on,
Go Big
somebody.
Rich.
Every time I call him, he answers the phone. He's like, "Hello?" And I'm like, "Come on, somebody." I love him. I haven't seen him in like 2 or 3 months. I miss him.
He did a charity show. I saw
know, I
him a
didn't get to
couple
see
weeks ago.
I
Yeah,
didn't
that
get
was
to go
really
to
good.
that.
That was
I
really
was
good.
bummed.
We've mentioned him twice now.
Yeah, we have. He's not paying us. Big Rich Brock Comedy is not a sponsor, but if you want to go into Big Door Vineyards Monday night, I'm just kidding, but
He could be.
he appreciates the plugs. But yeah, so I just, I've always just hated the salesy. Every job
Yeah.
I've worked full time, I've always been in a capacity where my job wasn't to sell, but I should like recommend things. And I always was just like, I'm not doing that
Yeah.
because nobody wants to go into a place and be sold to. And they're like, well, you got to word it in a way that's not salesy. Then I feel like I'm being sleazy and I don't want to be that guy.
Right.
And if that is what makes your business happen, kudos to you. But like, I'm not that guy.
I definitely think it's a skill, and there are different levels to that skill. I mean, there are certainly some people who know how to sell, and they make you feel comfortable about it. It's not one of my favorite things either.
These companies that you started that all kind of evolved over time, judging from your language, it sounds like you've been burned a couple times.
Yeah.
Is there a reason why the company itself changed, like in terms of like the naming and the branding? Like, I'm just going to come at this from a person who really, I don't know the details of what you're talking about. So, okay, you start a company with a partner turns out to suck. You decide to split ways with the partner, but why didn't you continue that business on your own? Or did you feel like you just wanted to like wipe your hands with it and let it go? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, a little bit, a little bit. And for one, in one situation, the other person kept it. And we decided to part ways that way. And when I had the opportunity to go out and form the Till Bridge, I was like, this is really mine. Like the Till Bridge is the first that was 100% mine. I did all, and I mean, I asked, mentors absolutely of like, what do you think about this name? Or I'm kind of thinking about this. What kind of vibe do you get out of it? But it was really mine to kind of just take it and grow it from the ground up. And, we've talked a little bit about this before on my show, but my faith is really important to me. And I wanted to take that with me into this business because I really felt like I had that freedom to do it because I'm like, it's mine. I could do what I want. And I just really felt like whatever I had lost prior, I was going to be able to make it bigger and better this time. And I feel like that's what I've done. Like the success level, if you're comparing apples to apples and oranges to oranges, the Till Bridge in the time that I've had it is my most successful venture.
Sure. From like, if you look at it from like a length of time you've had it and money made standpoint, you are the most successful you've been.
Yes.
Well, congrats on that.
Thank
That's
you.
awesome.
Thank you.
I asked you the other day, but you've been full-time on just you, self-employed.
Yes.
So when you started this journey, you get out of college, you start forming businesses. Were you full-time then or?
I was.
Okay, so you've never really worked for someone else.
Only for, so I did
Besides,
it.
like a college job,
Yeah.
job or what?
Yeah, I had like 4 years with the local radio station that no longer exists, interestingly enough, I know. But yeah, I had a full-time career with the radio station, and kind of out of that is where that first business came. It was an on-demand thing, and the media itself was just changing so quickly. You had radio, but at the time, that particular station, they weren't doing like video or anything like that. Or, they were capturing the audio and repurposing it. But I think Periscope had just come. Do you remember Periscope?
Wow.
Uh-huh.
Wow.
Exactly. Because that was like the first of the first public streaming service.
Wow.
And that was starting to come out. Everyone was going crazy over it. And it was like, yo, radio station, you've already got the space and the hosts and the show. Like, this is a additional thing you could do to stand out above everybody else. And I loved that corporate job. I worked with absolutely wonderful people. I recommend working for corporate. Go work for somebody else before you work for yourself. Learn a whole lot. But there's only so far you can go. You're going to hit red tape. And I absolutely had that great boss of like, let's go as far as we can go. We'll support it as far as we can go. And that's absolutely what they did. And then when I'd gone as far as I could go, it was like, okay, well, I've got this that I've built and it's growing. So I'm either going to have to go in 100% or I need to essentially let go of the side hustle and stay on with the radio station. And I decided to make the leap and I left.
And you've never been back?
No. I don't know that I could now.
What was that like first Monday morning? Like waking up and you're like, I don't have to go anywhere. I can just...
I 100% like still got up.
Yeah.
At my like regular early morning time.
Well, that's fine. But like, I don't owe anybody anything.
Oh,
except for maybe my clients that
yes.
Corporation.
Yes. It was absolutely a period of transition.
Really?
Yes. So what's funny is you asked, do I get ready to get ready? So now that we're talking this out, my answer is going to be yes, because as I'm picturing this, right, I'm like, I'm totally fine with jumping out of the airplane. Like I will jump out of the airplane. But you best believe I'm going to make sure that parachute is working first. I need to know that first. I need to can we test it? Can we pull the cord and make sure it's going to come out? Like I need all those things.
Yeah.
So I don't have a problem. And I took that leap and that jump, but I tried as best as possible to have all my ducks in a row so that I could do that. So there was definitely a period of transition. In a way, it's almost like high school to college. Like, I remember high school, you had to ask to go to the bathroom, but in college, look, you're old enough, get up and go to the bathroom if you need to go. It's almost like that when the business is yours. If you need to take off at 2 p.m. in the middle of the day to go take a parent or the kids to the doctor, you can do that. Now, you may be working till 8 o'clock that night. I don't know. It depends on what your load is, but you can 100% do that. So the flexibility of it, I don't feel like you can compare that. But there's also so much more riding on your shoulders. There's so much riding on your shoulders.
Yeah.
Because you are truly responsible. And
or you should be.
Yeah. And it's hard to describe that feeling if you've never done it before, because probably everyone that's listening to this is like, I got a 9-to-5 job. I'm the breadwinner for my house. There's a lot riding on me. That's absolutely true. That's absolutely true. When you run a business, there's just different levels to that, right? Like if you have employees, I mean, you're paying them before you get paid. So if something doesn't come in and payday's tomorrow, guess what?
You're not getting paid, but they are. Or to take it a step further, you've got employees and you miss the renewal of a really, really big, high-paying client. You might have to let someone go. And that's hard. Because when you're working a full-time job for 9 to 5, unless you're working in HR or you're like a executive level person, you're probably not firing anybody. And you might know if one of your coworkers is like, oh man, they're probably running their days, like they're out of time, but you don't have to fire them. Whereas now you do. You have to let them go, which sucks.
Yeah.
It's hard to let people go. I've had to let 1 or 2 people go here and there.
Yeah.
And it's not fun. Even if they're just contract,
right?
And you're like, listen, this just isn't a good fit anymore. Saying that in this moment is so much easier said than done when you're talking to the person on a Zoom call or in person. God, it's hard.
Yeah. I mean, I remember when my mom passed, I got one day where I didn't answer a call and didn't think about work. And that was the day of her funeral. All other surrounding events that happened, I was like taking a call, go make arrangements, come back home, check some emails, answer some things.
Why?
Ooh, you said this podcast ain't serious. That was a deep question.
Well,
I felt like I couldn't.
could you have looking back?
Yeah.
When did your mom pass?
7 years ago.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. I
I'm sorry.
thought if I didn't do all those things that I was going to lose the business. Like that's yeah.
Even though you absolutely could have been like, hey, my mom died.
Yeah.
I'm at her funeral
Yeah.
right now.
Yeah.
And they would have probably been like, oh my God, I am so like, call me back next week.
I communicated that to the clients that I was going to be basically MIA for that day. So I did take the day, but leading to and surrounding that. Yeah, I should have.
Yeah. Do you regret that now? Or do you just not think about it? Or do you really care? Because you were at a different
No.
point then than you are now.
Yeah.
So maybe you did think that you needed to.
Yeah. And I would even say that's probably part of that growth of what is the quote of like you've survived 100% of all of your hard days? Like anytime I've ever had something that happened that popped up like that I needed to take care of, everything's been fine. It's just, it's like your integrity will speak for you, right? Like just because I didn't immediately answer you back within 24 hours. If I usually do, me not doing that once shouldn't make or break that client relationship. Also, a big difference that's important to point out is that was young in the business. So that was my first business, and we maybe only had it 1 or 2 years, which is a little bit harder to, it's harder to relax in those first couple of years than it is
Now.
10 years down the road, basically. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, that's the one thing I struggle with is that like I know now like I'm in this place where like I work at a place that like is pretty flexible and and I don't really have to work that hard to like get what's done that's expected of me. So it gives me time to be able to like shut the laptop and open another one for 30 minutes, but it's like I want to not be I want to not have to shut 2 laptops. I want to shut 1 laptop at the end of the day, not 2. And it's like it's safe.
Yeah.
And you definitely could have played it safe and stayed at that radio station probably for the foreseeable future.
Oh, 100%.
Could have run it one day.
100%. I could have been working in a top office when it closed down.
Yeah.
And then, where would I, you know what I'm saying? Where would I have been? Yeah, like I have no doubt about that. And it does take sacrifice, right? Anything worth having does take sacrifice. I feel like one of the biggest lessons I've learned coming out of that is life's too short. Life's too short, Logan. You've got to be able to step away and like enjoy yourself and what you're working so hard for. Like, what is the point?
Yeah. Someone asked me the other day how many hours a week I spend working on things that aren't my full-time job.
Yeah.
And I was like 10, 12, maybe. And they're like, whoa. And I was like, yeah. And they're like, that's a long time. And I'm like, yeah, but I might not be doing social posts or designing a website, but maybe I'm emailing, maybe I'm sending invoices, maybe I'm being HR, marketing, and finance all in, maybe there's days I don't even touch the marketing stuff or the podcast and I'm just doing admin work. I mean, I think when they underestimate the whole business lifestyle, because it's like you are doing everything until you get to that point where you're like, okay, I can hire an admin assistant or I can hire this person full time or whatever. But I spent a long time. And so now accurately, if you were to guesstimate, because I know with what you do now, like you're involved in like a few different things. So like how many, if you were to put like on the 40-hour work week, are you working 40 hours a week or more?
I'm probably still working more than that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You think so?
Yeah.
You're up early though, too.
I do. And I prefer that. My mind's just better in the morning. I'm a early bird, so I'd rather like crank some things out. And some of it's probably my fault. Like if I can go where I've got some weekends where I haven't had to do work, then I am more productive during the week. And I probably could actually work less. So it sounds in a sense like counterintuitive. That was another lesson I had to learn. Putting in more hours does not help you get more done because you get burned out. That 100% happens. So every now and then I'll still have a project that'll take like a couple of weekends. I've been on that path the past couple of months, and I'm kind of coming out of that a little bit. And so I'll take advantage of that every weekend that I can. I'll just, relax, read, go to the park. I don't know, something that's like not brain work to try to refill that bucket, if you will.
Yeah.
But I get burned out way more quickly now if I have to work on a weekend. Like I can tell because I had to do it for so long. I don't last very long if I have to, I have to mitigate that and take breaks.
My version of like working on a weekend is like waking up at like 6, and like I like to save my admin work for the weekend, like on a Saturday morning before Catherine wakes up, because she'll sleep in if I let her.
Yeah.
Like just getting up, going into the office and sipping on coffee in there and sending the invoices, paying this, paying that, doing whatever. I like to do that stuff like in the early morning because it kind of warms my brain up. And then during the week, it's great because I could just take that and move right into doing an actual thing. Yeah, it's a weird balance you have to find between. I spend a long time on my admin work, and I think I've told you this before, and if I haven't, you're about to learn that I get bored really easily. Like,
well, creatives tend to.
Yeah. I get dissatisfied with everything after 6 months. Like, for example, I just in January or February of this year, I signed up for a new like CRM service.
Okay.
Like it's called Honeybook.
Yeah.
Send invoices, project management, stuff like that. And earlier today, I was like, I'm bored of this. I'm going to cancel it.
So do you go get like a whole new service that you have to learn?
Yep.
That literally gives me anxiety.
Whitney, if I could tell you
twitching.
How many hours I've spent over the years taking things from one system and reprogramming them into another, hours, maybe days.
Logan Lewis is hiring for an admin assistant.
I really would love one. If I could hire someone at a somewhat decent hourly rate, if they could, if they're one of those people that's self-employed and they'll do something by the hour, and I'm just one of their smaller clients, like I will hire you. So if you are that person, send me a message on Instagram.
I need you.
Because I do need to cut that shit out. I do.
You really do.
I'm bored of Honeybook. So
you really do.
I'm going to make like a new CRM myself.
Yeah, you really
And I programmed it in Google Sheets. Like I asked my ChatGPT, I was like, I want to make Google Sheets work for me because I don't want to have to pay $300 a year for another accounting software. And it was like, okay, let me show you how. So I did that before I came here.
Oh gosh, no. That,
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
And I'm also like, I'm transitioning. This is a podcast where I'm supposed to be interviewing you, but I'm just talking about myself. People are going to be like, what the hell is this dude's problem? Is he like an ego maniac or narcissist or some combination of the two? But I just also forgot where I was going with that. So we're just going to use that as an opportunity and a sign to move on to something else. I wanted to ask you, Whitney, so you have your podcast, If I Ever Live to Be.
Yes.
Right? That's what it's called, If I Ever Live to Be.
That's it.
Mm-hmm. When did you start it?
When I started the Till Bridge.
Okay.
Yeah.
Question for you then. Immediate follow-up. Why did you wait to start one? Because it feels like it's an interesting shift for me to think about the fact that you left a radio station. You were really good at that stuff.
Yeah.
And it took you X amount of years to kind of get back into the podcast radio world.
Yeah.
Why did it take so long?
It wasn't as truncated as it sounds. I'd had podcasts and shows throughout the iterations of those different businesses.
You've had shows before.
Yeah, and they kind of were geared toward whatever that business was geared toward. So if it was more business conversation, more tailored to that, if it was a marketing podcast and things like that. And I really wanted to open up, If I Ever Live to Be, to something else. Like I wanted to open up my audience base and be able to expand that to where it didn't have to be marketing, or they don't necessarily have to be a business owner to come on the show.
Interesting. Well, I actually wanted to bring up something that I wrote down. If you're a business owner and you're looking to level up your company's merch game, let me tell you about another person that I am near and dear friends with. They're called Branded and Devoted Designs. If you're looking up to level up your company's merch, your brand deserves better than boring swag. No one likes boring swag. If you contact my friends at Branded and Devoted Designs, you can level up with custom hats, shirts, mugs, tumblers, golf towels, everything in between to get your customers and clients excited. Go to brandedanddevoted.designs.com and make your brand stick out. And if you mention that you know me, they'll give you 10% off your order. So if you've been waiting to snag some new company polos or a nice t-shirt, or you want pens with your logo, I mean, these people, I asked them early on in my relationship with them, what can you put my logo on? And they said anything. So if you want your logo on your AirPods, call Branded and Devoted Designs. I don't know if they can do that, to be quite fair. They did not include that in the ad copy, but there's emphasis on the fact that they could put your logo on anything. Towels, jackets, comforters, posters, you name it, they got you. So brandedanddevoted.designs.com, mention that you know me, 10% off your order. But
Both of those setups have been
I kind of have like this internal clock where I look at how long we've been recording. I'm like, okay, I need to put an ad in like every 20 minutes or so, 25 minutes. So it's like, all right. So as soon as I look over and see what time it is, I'm like, okay, how am I going to take whatever she's saying and form it
well, there you
into...
go. Those last two have been spectacular.
But then like sometimes people are like, this is dramatic, but they'll be like, yeah, and when I was 6, my dad got hit by a bus or something, and I'll be like, you know who didn't get hit by a bus? Me, drinking Good Days. And the guests will be like, so some executions are better than others.
It's terrible.
It is terrible. Shout out to Whitney's friends that are listening to this, and they're like, oh my God, this guy is a maniac. Some of your friends might listen to this that are actually booked to be on the podcast here soon.
That's true. Yeah.
A mutual friend, or not a friend of mine yet, but a soon-to-be friend, is Buffy.
Did you get her booked?
I have her booked.
Sweet.
Yeah. Not for a while, because I'm booked.
That's fantastic, though.
But yeah, she's on the schedule.
Such a good
I'm
guess.
so excited.
Okay,
So many
yeah.
people have told me to talk to her. And then
Yes.
one day I was browsing on LinkedIn and her profile popped up and I was like, oh my God, I'm adding her so quick.
Yep.
And I immediately messaged her and was
Oh,
like,
yeah.
people have been telling me for the past like 6 months, I need to talk to you.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm excited to talk to her.
Okay, good.
I know you guys like do some things.
Yeah.
What do you do? You're in this organization. Is it FEW?
Yeah.
Is that what it is?
Yes. Yeah. So FEW is Fellowship of Extraordinary Women. It started in Wisconsin. It's actually been in Wisconsin for 10 years. And Atlanta was the first chapter outside of the original. And Buffy is president. And so how all that got started is Buffy's husband, Payne, has Outer Circle Foundation.
Yes.
And so after I was going through all my things and change and forming a new company, and I had moved and all this goodness, I was like, all right, I'm ready to get involved in some stuff and I want to give back and all that goodness. And so I really wanted to get involved with the Veterans Organization. My grandfather served for over 20 years and retired out of the Air Force. And I was like, that's a special way for me to be able to get back.
Sure.
And I was literally searching. I think I found them on Facebook. I sent them a message. They were like, well, we're going to have this event. Come out and meet us. The rest is history.
Wow.
I met Matt and Buffy there. Buffy was just starting FEW Atlanta. I went to their first event and I joined that as well. So it was really like both of those things.
Wow. I got in right at the beginning.
Yes.
That's awesome. And so what do you guys do?
So FEW, I really call it like the supercharged meetup of women because we get together. So we have monthly meetings. We'll do stuff out in the community. We have a retreat coming up and the members kind of really run. I mean, it's a wide swath. We have retirees, there's educators in there, there are other business owners. I mean, it's just, there's a lot. And so we'll get together and we share and we learn and it's cool, fun, girl hangout. Sorry you're not invited.
Yeah,
but
that's okay. I understand. I don't want to come. I don't want to be there.
That's what I figured.
Sounds horrible.
Well, it's great for us.
Sure it is. I'm sure you guys have a ball. Yeah, it sounds awesome.
Yeah. And then outer circle is veterans, first responders, but
Yep.
it's PTSD awareness, suicide prevention, career transition.
Now, maybe I'm getting my foundations mixed up,
Yeah.
but Outer Circle, is that the one
Yeah.
that had that event that you went to?
They just had the ribbon cutting in Paulding.
What did Big
That
Rich
was the
perform at? What
never
foundation was that?
Never Alone
Okay, they
Foundation.
are two different foundations
Yes.
then. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Which is also mental health.
That's what I'm thinking.
Stephanie Almond is another guest you need to have on.
She's booked for next Tuesday.
Are you for real?
Not this Tuesday, but the next Tuesday.
Are you
But
so
yeah,
serious?
I'm serious. We've been
love
texting
it.
for like 6 months trying to figure it
I
out.
love it.
Yeah.
She's fantastic.
I can't wait.
'Cause she has Never Alone Foundation, which is also
Lovely.
mental health. So
Lovely. Yeah,
Mhm.
that's why I was getting the two. I was
Yeah.
like, okay, so he does
I did
this.
meet her through Buffy and Matt.
Oh wow. Well,
So yeah, absolutely. That's how I met Stephanie.
that's one thing I've realized with the whole podcast thing is that everybody knows everybody.
Yeah.
And it's really cool because I'll be sitting in here talking to XYZ and they'll be like, oh, do you know this person? I'll be like, yeah, I know that person.
Yeah.
You know them. And it's just really fun.
Good.
It's really fun.
Yeah. Those are two really great guests that you
I'm
have
excited.
lined up.
I don't want to brag or anything, but I've got
Yeah.
a killer lineup for the rest of this year.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I'm so excited. Like, wow. You're part of that killer lineup. I was so excited to have you. Your reputation precedes you.
Oh, thank you.
I don't even know what that really means. Your reputation makes sense. Is that what that it translates to? Like, oh, I see what people are saying.
Nice things were said, and I'm nice.
You are nice. You're all right. One thing that you jotted down when you filled out my
that I don't remember.
survey,
I'm a little bit nervous, actually.
you said
What is this question?
that you are passionate about helping people be a standout guest, a standout media guest. What does that mean to you?
Yeah. I love to teach others. Speaking is a skill
That I do not have.
that you do, but it's different in different contexts. And it's important. I mean, it's so important, especially if you are an executive, if you are a business owner, because we all kind of sort of have to be content creators in our own little way these days, right? I mean, that takes different mediums, but you have to know how to speak and represent yourself. And if you want more of those opportunities, you have to be able to communicate your point and elaborate. So if you were like, Whitney, where are you from at the beginning of the show? And I said, North Georgia.
All right. Where in North Georgia?
Like, tell me more, right?
Some people are just like, okay.
Yeah.
And those are the worst guests.
Are you having a great day?
I know you've had one or two, I'm sure.
Yes.
I'm sure. We've all had at least one guest where you're like, oh, this is going to be tough.
Or even just the filling of the silence. Like we feel like we have to fill the silence.
Correct.
No, it is a tool. Use that to your advantage. Create the space. You don't have to do the, no, I don't know, which is why I'm asking you.
You don't do that, really. You're not a big person.
Good. I would be really hurt if I was. You're like, Whitney, you need to work on that.
That's one of my biggest problems is I use a lot of filler words. Riverside tells me. Sometimes, oh my God, Whitney, I edited this episode like 2 weeks ago and it cut down from an hour and 45 minutes to an hour and 32 minutes of filler words between me and the guest, between us or ums. And, that's one that it's ramped up real hard in the last like 2 months is, like if I don't know what to say, I'm just like, this, where I could just not say something.
And now you know, and you're aware. And
oh, I'm aware. The first step is understanding that you have a problem.
Accurate. So alluding to North Georgia, right? So all call letters in Georgia, at least they were at the time. I don't know now, so don't quote me. They were all use something. So like in college, the radio station was UBCX. I'd say WBC. Yeah, WBCX. And they'd be like, what? You? I really had to work on that.
Yeah.
Because I'd say WBCX and I'd just run it all together.
I've always said W, I feel like.
Well, then you beat that out of me in college.
Quit saying.
I'm telling you, I had a professor that was like, Whitney, if you say it that way one more time.
Really?
And I get it because he was training me because he was like, if this is really something you want to do.
You gotta say things right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, and then here I say like wanna or gonna or
I mean,
finna,
I still do that in regular conversation.
but that was for the
Yeah.
kids. If there's any listening.
Doubt it. I doubt it.
If you didn't see what I just did, that's because you're not watching on YouTube, and you should. It's a visual show.
Another setup for another plug.
That I just
I think
flew
I
out.
need like 2%.
Well, I don't get paid from YouTube yet, so I will just be losing money.
Well, then, yeah, go watch.
Yeah, go watch, on YouTube,
Logan
and then
Lewis
I'll
on
give Whitney a
YouTube.
2% commission on every sale.
I'll get 5 cents.
5 cents will go a long way if you put it in a high interest savings account, which brings us to no, I'm just
I was gonna leave. I was gonna leave
if you put it in a that's funny. I've actually reached out to like local institutions and been like,
I was
hey,
gonna leave. I was like, oh, okay, this podcast is done.
this is dumb. This is the podcast where people are like, yeah, but there's just so many ads. And I'm like, well,
That's
I've always
cool,
got to
though.
make money.
That's cool though that you have great sponsorships.
Yeah, you know,
Good stuff.
it's something I never thought I'd get to. And one thing that I'm passionate about that I've been kind of talking about when I've been guests on other people's shows and stuff is that you don't have to have 8 million downloads a month to get sponsorships. You just have to have people that believe in you.
Preach.
And Good Days, Fireworks, Branded and Devoted, they all like me as a human. They might hate the podcast, but they think that I am a fun person to work with, someone that's easy to work with, someone who is going to scream their product from the rooftops, which I do. Good Days does not pay me to go and put their drinks all over my social media, but I do it anyway because I love their product genuinely. And same with Fireworks. Every time I'm here, I share something on my story. Every time I get new merch, like the Your Morning Drive merch, it's made by Branded and Devoted Designs. So every time I get new shipments in, I'm like, check these guys out. Like, they don't pay me to do that. I just do it. And so I capitalize on that of like, my audience lives in Georgia. You're in Georgia. Your customer base is in Georgia.
Yeah.
Sounds like a win-win.
Look at you giving
So you could do it.
Look at you giving a masterclass on sales.
Well,
somebody liking you goes a long way.
It really does. You know, we've talked about LinkedIn a couple times off mic, but if you would have told me in high school that LinkedIn would be my favorite social media profile, I would have told you you're an idiot.
Yeah, 100%.
But I love LinkedIn.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I just feel like a sense of adventure when I get on LinkedIn. I'm like, who can I connect with today?
Yeah, it really is.
And I used to cringe. So like, again, this shows you the growth. When I first got LinkedIn, when I was like in college and they were like, you should get a LinkedIn account.
Because you had to.
Right. For the business
100%.
101 course. They're like, you should know how to network and stuff.
Yeah.
I used to cringe so hard at the messages you would get from people that's like, oh, you should book time on my calendar and we'll chat. I used to think that was so dumb and lame.
Hello,
but
first name.
I do that.
Hello, first name.
Hello.
Name. But that's the difference. If you do your research first and send out a genuine, like you with Buffy, when you told her, like, okay, a gazillion people have told me I need to talk to you. Let's chat.
Yeah.
Like, of course, I'm going to respond to that. Absolutely. Right. If you like, hey, I took a look at your profile. Do you need, like, no, I don't need a new plumber. Thanks.
No. That's a very random example. Sounds like you've been approached about plumbing.
That CPA.
Do people have a plumber? Like an accountant?
Don't they have there's some company
or is it
out
just
there?
Like a company, like a bug spray.
There's some company. Well, yeah, probably, but there's some company out there now that has like a service-based model where you pay X amount per month and they'll supposedly come out and take care of like everything. Any and everything.
Yeah, I'm not there yet.
Leak. I don't know.
I have learned as a homeowner, when things break, you can't just call the maintenance.
AC, leak AC, like they do all sorts of stuff and you pay them a monthly fee. I'm like, I don't know that I would do that, but somebody must be because I've seen the commercials.
If they exist, then there's a demand.
Commercials. They have commercials.
Yeah.
That's a big deal.
That is a big deal.
You have a commercial.
Right. I know a lot of Yeah. Well, do you ever like start a sentence and you're like, that was going to be dumb?
I
So
I
you
thought
just
maybe do we need to plug somebody else? That was a great time.
that is a good time to go ahead and plug the last partner of the
You're welcome.
podcast. So Whitney brought this upon herself. But similar to our last friends at Branded and Devoted Designs, if you are looking to elevate your business and your brand in the online way, then I know a company that can assist, and they're called Hammerhead Creations. Can I tell you about them, Whitney?
You know what? I'm gonna hook you up right here.
Oh
Hold
my
on.
God, what are you about to do? Oh my God, there's a coaster with Hammerhead Creations on it. I wonder who made that. Maybe it's Branded and Devoted Designs.
And it's your
And
business.
it's my business. Surprise. This episode is brought to you by me. Have a silly goose time in here. Hammerhead offers top-tier marketing services, including social media management, website design, consulting, Google page optimization. They basically just ensure that your business reaches the right people. That's it. That's really, you as a business owner have 8 million things going on. The last thing you need to be concerned with is posting on your Facebook page. Don't worry about that. If you're a pizza restaurant owner, if you're a bar owner, if you're a nonprofit owner, the last thing you care about is posting on Instagram. You don't care about that. That's not how you run your business. Let me do that for you. Let Hammerhead take over for you. Plus, if you like podcasting like me, we offer services that allow us to become your producer, your dedicated producer. Don't have time for all the admin work? Pass it off to Hammerhead and they'll take care of it for you. So if you are interested in any of those things, go to hammerheadcreations.com and discover how they can take your business or your podcast to the next level, and then you too can swim with the big sharks. No more ads. I promise. But one thing I do want to ask you is, do you think that in this world of podcasts, when you got out of that radio station, what year was that? And you went full-time completely.
2016?
Perfect. So around 2016, 2017-ish,
Yeah.
podcasts were really starting to be on the rise. And up
Yes.
and coming.
Yes.
Not everybody and their dog had one like it is today. Key players had them, but then people were starting to be like, oh, I could do this. So they were starting them at home. Now podcasting is like the thing. It was like the Periscope. Like when it came
Yeah.
out, everyone was like, oh my God, we should all do this. Podcasting is now that thing,
Yeah.
unfortunately for us.
Yeah.
Do you think podcasting is a good tool for business owners to use? I have a question. I just don't know how to ask it. It's like convincing business owners that a podcast is worth their time, or
Yeah.
whether, because, you know, a lot of people, some people I've messaged about doing the podcast, they'll say, well, I just don't know if that's a good investment for me. Not even financial, but like a time investment.
Sure.
And I'll say, oh, well, you know, like every piece of marketing, there's not really an easy way to quantify. Like if I posted something on your Instagram page, if your sales doubled next week, who's to say it's from Instagram? Who's to say it's not just from chance?
Right. Right.
Convincing them that podcasting is an effective tool for your business. Just kind of go into that.
Yeah.
I don't know what I'm
Yeah.
trying to ask.
Yeah,
You do.
I think so
Okay.
for multiple reasons. Number one, if you're doing video, obviously, it's a great way to create content. And it takes a lot of the pressure off, I think, especially if you have there is extra pressure on you as a host that the guest doesn't have, because if there is a lull, it is on the host's shoulders to pick it up and fill the space. But when you have someone and you've got that dialogue going on, like all eyes are not on you the whole time, right? So you've got like a little bit of a reprieve. You can toss the questions back and forth. The other thing is, this is a really great way to meet people. Like, I think we've mentioned that already on this show. It's reaching out to people, getting to know their stories, and it's one of the smoothest sales efforts, in my opinion. Because how are you going to argue with me? We'll take it from your part, right? You invited me on this show. I didn't have to pay you to come in here. I'm not having to pay you to promote me. We're having a conversation. You're getting to know me. You're essentially giving me free publicity. of course I'd sit here and listen to your pitch. If you were like, hey, by the way, here's my card. This is what we do. And I'd call you first because you gave me all of this first and you didn't try to sell me. It's such an easy way to meet new people and do that.
I agree. I think it's a no-brainer.
Yeah.
And, one thing I was going to ask you earlier, but I forgot to, and we moved on. So I never really thought it would be appropriate to go back to it. But like being in this place where you are full time and you are your own boss and you're making your own schedule, some people find it difficult to be able to justify taking an hour off to go and do something like this. But then I would argue you're not really off. You're still working. You're promoting your business.
Right.
Though at that point in time, maybe the only person hearing it is me. But in 2 or 3 weeks, insert time here, hundreds potentially of people will hear it.
Yeah.
So,
oh, it's 100% a marketing ploy. And which is got negative terminology with it, but connotation. But I mean, it can be used as marketing in the sense of, I mean, it opens up the conversation as well. It allows you to share your expertise without going, hi, Whitney Teal, I have the Teal Bridge and I do XYZ. Thanks for having me today. Bye.
Yeah.
Like we've talked about so much more than that. And you alluded to it earlier of anybody listening has gotten to know me.
Yeah.
So maybe they think like she's different or I want to work with her or that's a cool story or fill in the blank. Like they get to know you on a personal level. And there's so many more reasons of like why they want to connect with you, Logan, and specifically buy from you. Cause they see like, okay, we're teasing you about like the sponsorships. Every one of these are local businesses that you support. You're bringing awareness to them. That could be super important to, why am I sticking with the plumber example?
Sure.
ABC Plumbing down the road. They're like, yeah, I want to be a locally supported business. And maybe they do the same thing.
Yeah.
So a lot of business, it doesn't really have to be that hard. A lot of it has to be on where you're aligned with. And I don't think you have to stand up there and go, I'm a plumber to be able to sell your services. Why? That's what all the other plumbers are doing. Why don't you tell me how to prevent a leak? Why don't you tell me how to never have to call you? Because I can tell you then when I need you, guess who I'm calling?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. People ask me that a lot if I set out to do the podcast in order to because I've said this already on this episode, but I hate the sales process.
Yeah.
So people are like, oh, are you just like, the word they used before that I don't love is luring people in to do the episode with me. You have a good time with them. You develop a genuine connection, but then you are positioning yourself as like, oh, well, if someone's going to call someone for that social media management or for that website design, well, they're going to call you. And I would say that wasn't my intention with the podcast. I just love doing this.
Yeah. Yeah.
It just so happens that, last year somebody was like, I see that you do social for the podcast and your business. Like, do you do it for other people? And then ever since then, I was like, oh, I could like ask my guests if I could help them. Like after that connection's already made, rather than sending the cold DM or the cold email or LinkedIn DM of like, hey, I'd love to. No.
Right.
But you spend 2 hours with me in an intimate setting and then I ask you. Different story.
Yeah.
But that was never my intention from the beginning. Like, I just love to talk to people like this.
Well, and you open it up with, tell me about you. And then it goes.
Like, this is your episode.
Yeah. And then it goes from there.
Most of the time.
We was back and forth.
Yeah,
but we're
fair.
also
Joe Rogan talks a lot during his episodes. So.
But we're also kind of like so much in the same space, too, that it just kind of like naturally the banter's there. So I'm not offended.
Good. What do you think's next in terms of like.
For.
Like
me?
Well, yes, but also like in this way, like we've talked about like the Periscope and then like
like technology.
Like what's I mean, it's got to be something like hologram, right? Like how can you like every 10 years a new way to market your business comes out. And now we're entering this age of AI. So like what's that going to do for us? You know what I'm saying? Like what's the next big thing that people are going to want to get all in on? Is it AI and virtual reality and stuff? Is that where we're headed?
I mean, I've got two answers, kind of, sort of twofold, 2 layers of the onion on this. Yeah, that's probably a good way to set it up.
Don't cry.
So like, no, right?
There's tissues right there if you need it.
Thank you. That's true. We'll take Chat GPT for example. I've been of the opinion that your outputs are only as good as the inputs. So the quickest way to put a bow on that is if it sounds like AI wrote it, who you have doing your stuff is probably doing it wrong. You don't want, I mean, right? Like there's a level of effectiveness that is important and there's a level of productivity that is important. But if the stuff that is on your accounts if it doesn't sound like you, then something's like you need to find somebody else to do. Right? Like there's an assistance piece to it, but I don't think there can be 100% reliability on it.
Right.
I don't know what your thoughts are on that because we both use it. But I think you and I both use it in the same way where it supplements, it doesn't replace. We're reading everything. I mean, it's not just copy and paste. We're reading everything that comes out of it.
Yeah, for sure. I don't just trust that it knows exactly what it's talking about at all times. I'd like to be able to, but because then maybe one day chat will be my assistant and I won't have to hire a person. Which, I have a love-hate relationship with. I actually just listened to a podcast that I might send you later where the founder of OpenAI, ChatGPT, was on. He was interviewed by Theo Vaughn, a man who I'm trying to interview.
Believe me, I know.
Everyone who follows me knows.
Yep.
Someone actually slid up on my story today and they were just like, I don't think he's going to do it. I was like, you're probably right. But anyway, Theo interviewed.
Never give up.
I don't know how Theo got this opportunity, but he interviewed the founder of ChatGPT.
Yeah.
And his answers to questions genuinely surprised me. Theo would ask good questions about so where's this all going? Are we going to enter a world where it's like iRobot and there's robots living amongst us? And the founder of ChatGPT said, I would hate that.
Okay, good.
Which is a surprising thing to hear.
Yeah.
Because you talk to those tech moguls like Elon or Mark Zuckerberg or whoever.
Yeah.
And they're like, yeah, my product's the future and we're going to pave the way to this. And Theo's talking about children using tablets and technology effects on people. And the CEO of ChatGPT is like, yeah, we got to be smart about this. So I was like, that's nice to hear.
Yeah.
Because you're so used to these tech lords being like, buy my thing. It'll improve your life every day. The ChatGPT guy does say that. He's like, but in moderation. So it was an interesting conversation to hear just about because I use AI a lot. I use a lot, maybe more than I should, but it does help me because we all have creative block here and there. And I talk to my ChatGPT like it's a person. I don't just say, do this for me.
Mm-hmm.
I'll say, I want to say this, but I don't know how to articulate it. Can you help me figure this out? And my ChatGPT knows what to say.
Yeah.
To me in a way that it knows that I'll understand it. And I love it. It's the best.
Yeah.
But I would never replace, even though I just said I'd love to be able to hire a ChatGPT versus a person, I would much rather have that human interaction.
Right. Well, and that's the second layer of said onion, because where do we draw the line?
Right.
I like loud vehicles. I like driving. I actually like driving. A good car, a fun car. If I have a fun car, which I do have fun cars.
You do?
Well, I have one car, but they've always been fun.
Oh.
All of my cars have been fun.
Really?
I've had some fun cars.
Really?
Yeah.
Never would have guessed. What have you had?
I have BMW 5 Series.
Why? Wow. Not why.
I've had Mustang GT that I drove around for a while until I was making long drives, and then the gas wasn't gassing. Even my I guess what you would consider economical car. I went out and got the Kia Optimas when those first came out. And they were super, the new ones were super sporty looking.
Yeah.
I had a turbo on that baby.
Yeah.
And I drove from Gainesville to Buckhead, Georgia for several years. Yeah. That was rough.
Yeah. Great car though.
Yeah, no, it was.
Yeah.
But all of mine have had some speed to it, right?
Sure.
And also, let's be honest, once you've got speed, you're used to a little bit of speed. But I have fun. driving. My dad's a Mustang guy, which is where a lot of my love for all that has come from. And I just like, I love that. I love the sound. I even love like the smell from like an old, if you go like to an old car show and it's like the leather and all the stuff, like I would miss that. I would miss not being able to drive. I see the convenience in certain circumstances, but I actually like driving. So there's some things I don't want it to take away from me.
Sure. I agree. I love a drive as well.
Yeah.
I don't mind driving. People are like, oh, 30 minutes. I'm like, 30 minutes?
Yeah. I'm like, I'm putting on some tunes or a podcast, going for a drive. So
it's your morning drive. Zing. What else, Whitney? What else you got for me? You want to drop any bombs?
Oh, God, have I not? I feel like I have.
Iran dropping bombs. Too soon? Nah, that happened like 2 months ago. We're good. Remember for like 2 weeks, we were like, World War III is going to start tomorrow. And
that was not cute.
Everyone was like, oh my God, it's about to happen. And then it didn't happen. Thank God. But
yeah.
All right. World events, RNO.
They can go get that everywhere else.
Yeah, no, I usually don't talk about that stuff unless it's like crazy topical. Like one time I talked about, like, remember the morning that Trump banned TikTok or TikTok got shut down, saved it. Like we started the podcast. We started the podcast and it was banned, but then when we finished, we looked at our phones and it was back.
Yeah.
And so we talked
that pertains. I can totally see talking about that. Yeah.
We're like, all of the people that we've lost lately. Ozzy.
Oh, I know. There's been,
How weird.
A whole lot. People. They say there's actually a phrase that's around that, but they say like something about it comes in threes or something like that. Well, there was another musician beside Ozzy that passed, which is really terrible. The name's not coming to my mind right now.
Wow. Disrespectful. That person's going to haunt you now. Whitney, there comes a point in all of my conversations with folks that I ask them a collection of questions that have nothing to do with the things that we talk about.
My goodness.
These questions are very first date-like questions, so they're very easy, except for the last couple. They get a little deeper, but for the most part, they're very fun. Are you ready for these questions?
Sure.
Before we talk about those questions, I want to talk to you about one more. No, I'm just kidding. Another fake out. Whitney, what's your favorite movie?
I think I'd have to say Remember the Titans.
Yeah, that's a good answer.
Because so much came out of that, right? And it's just a good feel-good movie. It's a good wholesome movie.
Yep.
I also, I would be absolutely remiss. So second favorite, second favorite. I do like me some Bullet with Steve McQueen.
I've never seen that.
It is the car chase scene of its time.
Really?
100%.
Love it.
I've seen that movie multiple times.
Yeah. What movie do you think you've watched the most?
I've seen that one quite a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
I'm sorry. I'm laughing because I'm over here like I can hear my mother now. Titanic.
Really? That's my father's favorite movie.
I've probably watched that so many times, so long.
Why?
Long time ago.
That's a horrible movie. I mean, it's great.
Because I was in high school and everyone was about Leonardo DiCaprio. That's how long ago that was. I'm so old. Okay, go.
You're so old that you say old weird. Say it again.
Next question. No.
Say it again.
Old.
Yeah, you say it weird. You say like old.
Well, they took the W away, but I guess they didn't clear all of them.
They got the old.
Okay.
Sorry, this is not a
okay.
like bald.
Yeah.
Like I am almost. First job ever. First time you got a paycheck from someone.
I worked at a shoe store.
Really?
I did. I kept that job. I started it in high school and I kept it all the way through college. Loved my boss.
Are you talking like that on purpose?
It was in North Georgia.
Okay.
I worked at the Dawsonville Outlet Mall.
Oh, very fun.
Yeah, it was.
Were you a good shoe salesman?
I think so.
Saleswoman?
I think so. I learned a lot during that job.
Yeah, I bet.
Did it during the weekend.
Learned a lot about shoes, I'm sure.
And dealing with people.
Yeah. Dealing with customers.
Cleaning up after people, yeah.
When you get to organize a music festival and you get to pick your 3 headliners who are at the top of your poster. Who are your headliners? They
Oh
could be
my
alive or dead,
goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh, that's hard.
preferably alive, so we don't have to go and dig up any graves. But
Okay, I'll give you live. I'll give you live. Teskey Brothers.
okay, no idea who they are, but go on.
Oh, please. They're an Australian band.
Ooh.
So good. They're so good. Go. I'm telling you, go look them
Okay,
up.
I will. I will.
Hot dog. This is hard. Ooh, I think John Mayer would be good.
Ooh, very fun.
Yeah, John Mayer would be good.
Love John Mayer.
I'm supposed to pick 3.
One.
How about we? I feel like a good like Chris Stapleton or Luke Combs somewhere. I feel like that would be like a pretty strong lineup.
That would be a lineup. Great
Yeah.
variety for everybody. I mean, I don't know what kind of music the first one makes, but
They're kind of like he's got a very raspy voice,
raspy.
but it's and you're just making fun of how I talk now.
No, I was trying to do Australian, but it didn't come out right. No,
Okay.
I was trying to do Australian.
But it's also a little bit of bluesy, maybe a little bit of bluegrassy. Like they've got some different kind of vibe, but they're very different, but they're so good. Like his vocal range is fantastic. Teskey Brothers, check them out.
I will. I actually will. I'll listen to them on the way home. On a day that you're not working, Whitney, which is few and far between, how do you take care of yourself?
Love to read.
Yeah.
Love to read. Go for walks. Like we spend so much time in front of the computer. I really like to step away and just be outside.
Very nice.
I know. Nerdy. It's okay.
No. Do you have cats? You
No,
a cat woman?
I'm a dog.
Okay.
I'm a dog person. Yeah.
Perfect. Good. Advice that you were given at a young age that still sticks with you today?
Know your worth.
You used that on me a few weeks ago.
Oh, this is true.
You did.
Yeah.
told
We're
me.
talking about pricing conversation.
You were like, advocate for yourself.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, nobody's done that to me before.
It's
Because I
true.
typically lowball people.
Mm.
Because, yeah. But you were like, no, don't. I was like, okay.
Yeah.
Man.
It's hard to do.
It is hard. But here we are. Whitney, what's your biggest fear?
I'd say probably not being remembered. But not so much for like, oh, look, I did this thing. More like my give back efforts. Like, I hope that everyone that comes in contact with me feels that question prior, which was their worth. I hope that they feel valuable
Oh, wow. That's nice.
when I leave their presence. Like, I hope they remember that, right? Like when I'm not in the room or whether I'm dead or alive, I hope that they're able to say, well, Whitney made me feel like somebody.
That's a really good goal to have, or a really good valid fear to have on the flip side of it. And then lastly, Whitney, what keeps you going? What's your main motivator? What pushes you? What is your morning drive?
Ooh. The foundation is, I mentioned this a little bit earlier, but it's, which probably, at least I hope it does. I hope it shows up in all those different places is 100% like my faith. Like I start every morning with that cup of coffee and that talk with Jesus, which is probably good. Probably the rest of the world takes a collective sigh of relief that I do that because I think I'd be a completely different person if I didn't do that. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I think we are naturally like, don't we just naturally wake up aggravated? Like,
Yeah.
oh, the alarm's going off and we got to turn it off. Like, I take that moment to be like, okay, let's not be mean today. Let's not, like, it takes effort sometimes to be nice,
Yeah.
especially when everybody else is
Cranky.
Yeah. So there's that. But really, to my family, there's so many people who have invested in me through their hard work. Like, who am I not to try to go out there and make something of myself? My father worked really hard to put me through college and make sure I had what I need and all those good things. And he's just one, like he's just the first one that's coming in my mind. But like you represent all of those who came before you. And for everybody, that's not, specifically family, but somebody somewhere offered you a hand and tried to help you have a go at it. So that drives me.
It's a great answer. So now, Whitney, go ahead and tell the people how to find you. You offer
Yes.
and how to get in touch with you.
Absolutely. So depending on when this is going to be released, the new website, thetilbridge.com, is going to be designed by yours truly, Logan Lewis of Hammerhead Creation. So
Wow.
let's go ahead and throw that out there.
Wow.
So if you go there and you like it, that means Logan did it. If it looks like who did this, it's probably not newly launched yet, but be patient. It's thetilbridge.com, and I'm on social media everywhere, Whitney Teal, and my handle is Whitney Comms, COMMS. So like communications, Whitney Communications, Whitney Comms. So that's like on Instagram, and I'm fairly certain you can even go to LinkedIn and buy me that way, but it's Whitney Teal and the Tilbridge.
Love that.
Yeah.
Love that. I'll be sure to throw the links for all of those things in the description of the episode so that people can just scroll right down and click that beautiful new website and learn about you and get in contact with you if they need to do so. Whitney, thank you for doing this with me. I'm so excited that we actually finally got to do it.
Same.
I'm excited for what's to come. Yeah, there's some good stuff coming for you and I and the people.
Yeah.
People who support us. So I'm excited for that future, and I'm just lucky to know you. You're a rock star.
Oh,
You're
thanks.
really cool. So
Appreciate
thank
that.
you for being you.
Yeah. Thanks for the invitation.
For sure. Guys, again, lastly, I will throw my links as well as Whitney's links in the description so that you can access them if you need them. Thank you to Fireworks for hosting us, in Good Days Branded and Devoted Designs for being partners of the podcast. If you like what you heard, share it with one person in your life that needs to hear a new podcast. Your friend, your mom, your coworker, your ex-boyfriend, someone that needs to hear the podcast. Thank you for tuning in today, and we will catch you guys on the flippity flip. Bye-bye.